I'll be honest, folks. I saw this movie for free because I didn't want to give these motherfuckers my money after The Force Awakens. The forced hand job that I didn't want. The forced fist fuck up my ass. And I ranted on that fucking movie, and I remember people telling me, who, if you liked it, fine. But there were people who got pissed at me saying, wait till the next one, Matt. They don't answer your questions, Matt. They don't do Luke justice, Matt. They don't do all this other bullshit, Matt. Yeah, bullshit is what I got. By Ryan Johnson. Yeah, Johnson because he's a dickhead. Kathleen Cuntity. And these motherfuckers at Disney, dickwads, it's Goofy, Pluto, and Mickey Mouse jerking off over your faces. And they reached over their cocks, they got Minnie Mouse to pull down her fucking panties, take a squat, and pissed over these three fucking movies. Return of the Jedi, Empire, and Star Wars. Because like I said in The Force Awakens, I'll say it again. What the fucking fuck was the point of these goddamn movies? The return of what? The return of innocence? Return to innocence? Return of what? Return of the bullshit? Because that's what I got. The return, so nothing happened. So Luke ran away like a coward, chicken shit pussy to live on a fucking mountain like he was the fucking Highlander because there can be only one. Waiting for some fucking bitch named Rey to come along and do nothing. Trainer, they got 30 fucking seconds of nothing but being a bitter old dickwad. And then to fucking die in such a horseshit way. Because all they did was take your characters in these three movies, every single one of them, they flushed them down the toilet, or they pushed them aside, or they turned them into wampa shit. And when you make this fucking movie, The Phantom Menace, a good fucking movie, you know you fucked up. I would rather watch this than any of the prequels, and someone's going to say, oh man, well, your opinion's null and void. Bull and shit. Cock a mamie. Fuck this movie. The Last Jedi can eat my ass and suck every hair off my balls and choke on them. It can lick the sweat off my asshole. And because the rant on Justice League was so popular, I am once again joined by one of my best friends, Mike OCP.
Hey yo! Yeah, I hate this fucking movie too, alright? I hated this.
Mike loves it.
I don't normally
He loved this movie.
hate films. Like, I just think they're bad. Like, Justice League is just bad. It's an awful movie. There's really not much anything redeeming. My voice cracked. That's how much I hate this movie. Even my body is rejecting The Last Jedi, which I like to call Star Wars, The Last Pink Eye.
Yeah, but Mike,
it's a boring fucking movie.
Mike, you only hate
gave me
it.
fucking pink eye.
You only hate it because I hate it, right?
Oh no, no.
Yeah, this movie just wasn't a pile of shit.
Not. This movie was just a piece of shit. That was insulting. It slapped me in the dick. It slapped me in the ass. It slapped me in the face, and it shoved a lightsaber up my ass. And I didn't like any of it. It was not a fun time.
And people don't think we're going over the top, but you know what? We're not the only motherfuckers on the internet saying this. When you go
yeah.
Rotten Tomatoes, who gives a shit what the critics say? They fucking hated John Carpenter's The Thing when it came out. You look at the audience, and that number's going down to now like 56, 57%. And you see many other rants on YouTube. We're not the only ones who hate this shit.
Yeah,
this
we're not
bullshit.
Alone. But also at the same time, like, yeah, we're over the top. Why the fuck not? Like, where's the fun in not doing that? I would rather be over the top and just totally rail and totally just beat the ever-loving shit out of a film that I didn't like than to just be kind of like blasé about it.
Yeah, we'll be one of these critics who fucking gave this an A+. And if you like the film, truthfully,
that's
teach
fine.
their own.
But
also, we're not going to be one of these guys.
No issue with that.
We're not going to be we're going to sit back and be like, yeah, this movie it was okay, and you know it was all right. And
there were a couple scenes that I liked.
And then it's like 5 minutes long, and every 30 seconds, they say something relevant, and then every 2 seconds there's a cut. No, we don't give a fuck. We're going to say what we want because whether you like us or hate us, we're going to be honest. And this is a no bullshit zone in the movie zone. It's a no bullshit zone.
Well, there was a lot of bullshit in this movie, but yeah.
Yeah, we're trying not to drown from it. Not trying not to drown for it. Shove a fucking lightsaber up our asses.
Exactly.
Spaceballs is a better Star Wars sequel than this.
Yeah,
fucking,
it is.
Go watch Crawl. Go watch so many other fucking movies, man. This movie just took.
I agree about the prequels too. Even Luke himself, Mark Hamill, said that the prequels are more original than The Force Awakens, and he's right with that. And he's also right with everything that he said before this movie came out.
Yeah,
he was saying a lot of things about how I don't like what they're doing with my character. I don't like what they did with your character either, Luke. They fucked him in the ass.
Mark Hamill hates this, guys. Watch interviews. He'll say with Rian Johnson, like, man, I talked to him. It's like, man, I disagree with everything you're doing. And then people go, well, why did he do the movie? Well, probably because he was going to get fucking sued. And he probably has a family to support. And he's like, I can't afford to get sued. And, they were either, what, if he didn't do it, they'd do it anyway, just kill his character off screen.
Yeah.
So I feel bad for Mark Hamill. He had no choice in this.
Especially near the end. And throughout most of the movie, you can tell, Mark's trying. His performance isn't really bad. I don't think his acting is bad.
Right.
It's just you can kind of tell that he doesn't have the same passion for this role as he did for Luke in the original trilogy.
Because of the writing, because of the script they gave him, which, how can you blame him? How do you fucking
I definitely can't.
Him?
Some of the lines of dialogue that are in this fucking movie.
Not just dialogue, but just
the way that they treated the characters, absolutely.
After Return of the Jedi, I liked Star Wars. I'm not gonna say I'm the biggest Star Wars fan because grew up more with Rambo and Van Damme.
I grew up more with Star Trek, so I'm not even one of the biggest Star Wars fans either. But I do remember watching the original trilogy a lot.
But I like those three movies, and yeah, the prequels, they have bad stuff in them. I'm not gonna lie, they do. But I never hate them because they were doing stuff different, and they have some stuff. Even Phantom Menace, you have Duel of the Fates music. You got a cool lightsaber battle. Darth Maul could wipe his ass with snorting cocaine, because that's what he looks like with his fucked up face. Smash yourself in the mirror after snorting cocaine. A good lightsaber battle. At least it's, and other than the midichlorians and a whiny Anakin and okay, that's three things. You look at this in Force Awakens, you look at every single character from those movies. If you go down the list, Han Solo. Yeah, no, Harrison Ford didn't want to do it, but that's why you have to be like George Lucas said, tough shit, Harrison. You're not going to die. You're going to be in Return of the Jedi. You don't like it.
Exactly.
No, they kill him off by Kylo Ren, an emo bitch, and throws his ass down the shaft as if he was garbage. Just like this entire fucking movie's garbage. Oh, in this movie, they don't even mourn Han Solo.
Nope.
And Luke Skywalker didn't even fucking know. He's like, where's Han?
Yeah, he didn't even fucking know that Han was dead.
Empire Strikes
Back. Or even knew that he was in danger. That's just bullshit. That's just shitty writing. That's lazy writing.
I guess Rian Johnson forgot that in The Empire Strikes Back, he felt that his friends were in trouble, and so that's why he went to go and help them. Because he knew his friends were in trouble, and he's like, I gotta go help them, even though he wasn't ready. I guess, the people who made this film, they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Rian Johnson was too busy jerking his own fucking Johnson to actually remember what happened in Empire Strikes Back. Because that's what it looks like.
And that's the only mention you get of Han Solo in this movie, other than I killed Han Solo when he's talking to Snork.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Toke. Token some bud.
Let's see. R2-D2. He's in this for 10 seconds.
And apparently he swears because Luke is like, watch your language.
And then he literally disappears. Where did he go? I guess he's stuck on that thing? Is he on the Millennium Falcon? I can't remember. Is he stuck on them? I don't...
He just walked the fuck off the set of the movie. He's like, I'm done with this shit. Fuck this shit. I'm out of here.
He left. He quit the production. Our C-3PO, he's there to be told to shut up, and I don't know, maybe 30 seconds in the background window dressing. Chewbacca is there for a fucking joke about eating these porgs, these fucking Furby motherfuckers that's roasted, and they'll give him the anime fuck me eyes and say, oh, they don't say, and then Chewie doesn't eat it, and then at the end he flies the Millennium Falcon. Leia, rest in peace, Carrie Fisher. I don't know what the hell they're going to do with her in the next one since she passed away.
Out of all of these original trilogy characters, like, she was the one that was treated with the most respect.
She also has one of the dumbest scenes in the movie.
Yeah, she had one of the dumbest scenes in the movie, but what I'm saying is in terms of, she doesn't die. Maybe they thought about doing that, but they're like, oh, that's a little bit too much, because Carrie Fisher actually has passed away in real life.
But at the same time, what are you going to do in the next one? You're just going to use CGI for the entire movie? Or are they going to kill her off screen? Or they're going to kill her in the opening titles? Leia Organa passed away. Like, just the opening fucking episode 9.
She's going to die and they're going to have a funeral or something to open the movie. Like it's a Fast and Furious sequel.
Episode 9, Return of the Shit Stains. What the fuck it's called. Oh yeah, and the dumb scene I'm talking about, when she gets blasted in outer space and she freezes, and then she becomes Supergirl Mary Poppins and flies through the fucking space.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
Mary Poppins, y'all. Flies through fucking space! As if it's like the fucking scene in Galaxy Quest with Tim Allen when he went and he shot out into space. And Galaxy Quest is a better Star Wars movie than this.
And it's a Star Trek parody.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's a better movie than this.
Because it captures the fun and the spirit of Star Wars more than Star Wars The Last Jedi does.
And Luke Skywalker, he ran away because he was a coward. He was scared. He fucked up. He left to go on a fucking mountain. When he got the lightsaber with Rey, he just threw it behind him because he's a dickhead. He's an old, bitter man. I'm not going to do anything. He goes back. Well, he doesn't go back. He decides to train, not because Han Solo died. Just, who gives a fuck about him, huh? Not because his sister Leia's in trouble. Just, who gives a fuck about her, huh? Because he saw the fucking message from the first movie, so that, jizz, it's the first movie callback, oh shit. And then trains her, but Mike, what did he train her in his 40 seconds?
He led her on a meditation, yoga session, complete with a bunch of time-lapse photography, plants growing and shit. And she even immediately went to this dark side. Like, she went right into what might as well be the black hole. She just went into this black hole and scared the shit out of Luke, understandably, because she didn't show any resistance to this whatsoever. And I guess she had a lightsaber and swung it around and cut a rock and then fucked up these caretakers, who are these creatures who I guess caretake this island. Just fucked up their fucking wagon in a comic relief scene, and that's really about it. That's really all that her training is. That's it.
Wow, man! All the people got mad at me in Force Awakens. Wait till you see all that great training and what all Luke's gonna do and all the answers. Who are Rey's parents? Who's Rey? How'd she know all that shit?
We still don't know. She's a junk baby.
She's a nobody. Her parents were nobodies. Oh, you gotta wait till the next one. Or the
people who said, where did that lightsaber come from? How did Maz Kanata get Luke's old lightsaber? Nope.
The fucking
That's not get answered. We don't know how that happened.
The fucking thing from Despicable Me, the minion.
Yeah.
With the fucking goggles. The fucking, they built this character Snoke. in the first movie.
And they were all mysterious and everything
he
with
was
them. And then
nothing.
you see him in this. He's wearing a fucking glittery gold bathrobe.
Like he's gold member. Alcipa was ready to fight him. He even had the fucked up face of gold member. Fucking. Has
Like
fucking,
really solid gold Snoke. Like that's your fucking wardrobe choice.
70 solid golds.
It looks like he
Horseshit.
fucking stole that robe from Liberace. Like, come on, what the fuck is that shit?
All he's missing was a wig. A fucking wig from it. I mean, and then.
Well, not only Snoke, I mean, you also had even the other characters. Finn, the first time he shows up, it's a fucking joke. He smacks his head on a window and then has a pratfall.
Yeah, the first scene in the movie, it just won't, and then he falls down. Because it's the goofy. He's goofy, right? Because he's black. He's a goofy black guy. Because he's comic relief. Because he's goofy. He's chicken shit. He's trying to run away again. And then goes on this useless
Poe shows
thing.
up and he has like a scene in the beginning with his X-Wing. He gets chewed out by Leia and purple-haired
yeah, that's later on.
Laura Dern. And he doesn't do anything for the majority of the film. Like, it's one of those things that's like, wow, Poe was a cool character, and he didn't do that much in the first movie, but I'm like, it's the first movie, so I'll give it a pass. Here it's the same fucking shit. It's repeated again. But this time he doesn't get lost, and there's no mystery as to whether or not he survived
he's just
a
put
crash.
on standby.
He's just there, just on a fucking ship.
Waiting.
And
then this little mutiny thing, which was pointless and didn't need to be in the movie. This 2.5 hour fucking movie.
God
which
damn.
was boring
the
as
running
shit.
time of this fucking thing.
This movie was boring and slow as fucking molasses. It's like
felt like it was 5.5 hours long.
We were there for 5.5 hours long. We just don't know it yet because we got brainwashed by this fucking flick.
Oh, man.
And the new characters, I mean, what? You have this fucking girl with a fucking necklace. Oh, she dies, make the sacrifice. I don't even know her fucking name still. Who dies at the beginning. And then her sister
She's
Rose.
a sailor.
Sailor, yeah. Sailor Moon. There's Sailor and her sister's Moon. And fucking... Then her sister comes, and she does, like, nothing in the movie.
She's like a fangirl of Finn, and she's, I guess, an engineer or a mechanic, and I don't even know what the point is of this character. Is this just a way for Kathleen Kennedy at Disney to be like, look, we're inclusive. We can have Asian... chubby ladies be main characters. It felt like a backdoor pilot for this Moon character. Like, her name is Rose, but it's like, it just felt like a backdoor pilot to this character. It was like, hey, you know those other characters you liked in the last movie, the new ones? Ah, fuck them. We need to have more screen time for fucking Rose.
Well, I didn't.
I don't fucking give a shit.
You liked them, I didn't like them, but you. See,
well,
here's
yeah,
a guy who likes Force Awakens more than me.
Ass fucker, like it fucks everybody in the ass.
But here's
New
the
characters, old characters, doesn't matter.
Here's the thing: Mike didn't even hate the Force Awakens.
No,
and even he said this was bullshit. So people like, oh, you just agreed because no, we disagreed, and we're still
I thought
friends.
It was okay. Yeah. I still think it's okay.
And I fucking
hate
it.
Compared
this is even worse.
The Force Awakens is way better. Because at least there's a sense of fun.
I hated Force Awakens. Mike thought it was okay. There you go. So you even get a guy here who didn't mind the first movie, and even he's saying this movie is bullshit. Because it's total bullshit. I keep throwing that word because that's all they're giving us. And then these fucking articles from people saying, well, it doesn't care what you think, and that's what makes it great. Because it wants to burn it all down and recreate.
It doesn't matter what you think.
It doesn't matter. Well, you know what? There's another guy that I could bring up. Austin316 says, I'll whoop your ass, Disney fucks. How about this? And a Stone Cold Stunner on your asses. Stone Cold Stunner on Kathleen Kennedy and on Rian Johnson. Both at the same time, like the Vince McMahon family. with the fucking cans and just
I'd pay to see that shit.
hell yeah. I mean, you
Double middle fingers too. Just fuck.
Poe.
Fuck
I said this to Mike when we were talking. It's like they only have him there. Oh shit, we need an action scene with an X-wing. Pull him out of the closet.
Yep.
Have him do an action scene. When he's done, put him in the closet because there's nothing else to him. And if he's not in an X-wing fighting, he's doing nothing.
Why was he not the one that went along with Finn? Why did it have to be this random character that they just pulled out of their ass? Like, why do we have to be subjected to this Rose character, who I honestly thought the actress was terrible. I thought Gwendolyn, it's not Gwendolyn Christine. That's
terrible.
The Captain Phasma.
That character they hyped up in The Force Awakens.
And she got her ass kicked in like 30 seconds.
She was in the film for like 30 seconds.
Yeah, exactly.
Seriously, maybe like a couple minutes. And then you have this fight that lasts 30 seconds and she falls to her death.
What the hell is the name of this?
I know this is cynical.
Who is this actress?
I don't know. I know this is cynical to say, Mike, but I really do feel like, this is my opinion, not Mike's, mine. This was done for China, to get the China market.
There's Kelly Marie Tran.
It's like, why did they put Donnie in Rogue One and have him do nothing?
Well, he was good, but
they still gave him nothing.
Yeah, he didn't do that much.
Or the guys from the raid were in The Force Awakens.
Yeah. They were ones that got
Han
like
Solo,
they were the ones that
they
were
got
like the
eaten by the
pirates.
CGI creature, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
On Han Solo's Falcon. Why did they have them there? They like put these people in there for nothing other than China market to get that money.
Kelly Marie Tran, I thought she was terrible.
Was.
I thought her character, she had no chemistry with Finn or anyone else in the crew. And she acted like a live action cartoon half the time with the doe eyes and everything.
And their whole story between her and Finn was pointless.
Yeah.
Because
and then trying to get Benicio del Toro to help them out.
I guess because he was in Guardians of the Galaxy, or another Disney. So we gotta give him this Disney.
And his name is DJ, apparently.
Might as well be BJ. This movie, the whole story is them trying to get this code breaker to get into this bad guy ship because they're tracking the good guys.
Because that they're tracking them whenever they go into light speed, so they're not able to use light speed to get away from the resistance. Or not the resistance, the First Order.
This is all that happens with that. They go in this fucking casino with a lot of shit jokes. Not literal shit jokes, but just bad humor wasn't funny. A bunch of CGI camel, horse, space, whatever the fuck they were supposed to be.
Kangaroos.
And there's a race that they get
Space
on with
kangaroos.
them, like a chase.
And there's a bunch of kids that help them escape because it's a Disney movie. We gotta have the kids.
I blanked out of that. See, I was literally watching. I blanked out of that. I think I might say that. I blanked out because I was getting so pissed. It's like a whiteout in my brain. It's like one of the Men in Black fucking things. Just
neuralizer, yeah.
Maybe
like just get the fucking kids out of here. Like, Disney, stop it. Like, when you shoehorn kids into franchises where they don't really need to be there, it sucks. Exhibit A, Iron Man 3. Didn't need a fucking kid sidekick or friend for Tony. Not necessary.
We'll talk about that when we get to the last scene of the movie.
Yeah, but this still ties in because those same kids who were in that space kangaroo whatever scene are the ones that helped them escape.
Yeah.
Finn and Rose.
Yeah. And like
just out of nowhere, kids. I guess it's like fucking Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. Kids are being held prisoner or some shit as slaves in this casino or some fucking shit.
And they get to they escape the casino, they escape that, they get Benicio del Toro, they get to the bad guy ship, they helped them for a couple minutes to not be tracked? Because then immediately the bad guys found that the good guys were steeping and started firing on them.
Yeah.
And there
Well,
was
you have Rose also was able to, her necklace actually had the right material to be able to, like, short circuit some kind of fucking thing. But it ultimately didn't lead to anything, because it's like, they didn't do anything. At least that's what it appears to be. Like, maybe they just delayed the inevitable, and then they got captured, and then Phasma shows up and gets her ass kicked by Finn, and then Finn says one of the most fucking, he says 2 cringy lines of dialogue in the scene. Like, Finn went from a character that I liked to a character that I thought it was just absolutely horrid in the span of just a sequel. It's like the first movie I liked. Here, anything that was cool about this character is completely taken away. Okay. Even though he has, like, a scene with Phasma, it's ruined with shit like, oh, something Chrome Dome or whatever.
Chrome Dome.
Yeah, he's like, come on, Chrome Dome, or your move, Chrome Dome, or some shit.
Yeah. As if he was Shredder from the 80s Ninja Turtle cartoons.
But if that wasn't bad enough, he kicks Phasma's ass.
Very easily.
Very easily. And then he says this line of dialogue. She says this before he says his unbelievably badass one-liner. She's like, you're a scum. Dramatic pause. Pan up to Finn. Rebel scum.
Yay! And you know what? I will take back something. Finn in the first movie, I remember saying that the actor, I didn't mind. That if maybe they explain his character, like, how did he get out of being a stormtrooper? What made him different from the rest?
That. Who cares? No answers.
No, just stupid comedy and a pointless fucking subplot that literally could have been cut out of the movie. Because the whole reason for doing that, not much fucking happened because of it.
It was just there to showcase Rose, Tico.
And to maybe help the good guys for like a minute. Because then they started firing on everybody and it was just like one ship left.
Although you didn't even need Rose, you could have just had Poe do all that shit.
And for BB-8, like, you had this evil robot BB-8 that I remember talking to Mike. I'm like, is this the fucking black hole with the robots?
Is this Maximilian? Is Maximilian coming back?
Is that like the... Oh, what was the guy from Dr. Strangelove? And he was the other voice. Not Roddy McDowall. Even Roddy McDowall. One of those robots, and then you had the evil robot when they're doing the shooting match.
Yeah, Maximilian, yeah.
Yeah. But okay. I'm like, that's a better Disney movie than this movie. And like they put that in there, looking at it, for what reason? Do you know, Mike?
Eye candy.
Did you ever see that robot again?
No.
He just looked at it. This fucking guy doesn't know what he's doing.
And I mean, we didn't see R2-D2 again.
Yeah, he disappeared. So. Maybe he's still there. Unless I missed him when they had their blowjob scene in the, not literal folks, but like, oh look, we're a new rebellion on the Falcon. Maybe he was there in the background. I missed it because I blanked out from anger and insanity in my brain. But if that wasn't the case, he might as well just be on the fucking mountain stranded, and he'll die in episode 9. Him and C-3PO will die. Be like those guys playing the instruments in the Titanic. It was a service, it was an honor to serve you, or whatever. It was honor working with. They'll both die on a spaceship. That'll be episode 9. Because they gotta kill. I swear, Disney has this fucking thing where these older characters are baggage for them, and they have to get rid of them because they want to make literally dozens and dozens of other ones, including this motherfucker. And hey, this director, I like the film he did called Brick. I didn't mind Looper. He fucked up with this movie. Hands down. I don't know what him and Kathleen, I don't know what the fuck they're smoking. I don't want it near me. Because it must have been stuck up their ass. That's why it stinks. That's why it stinks. Must have been made of horse shit, horse manure, and horse piss.
And even Rey, like her character, doesn't really evolve that much in this. The training is not much of anything.
All those people.
like maybe kind of leaning towards the dark side, but not really.
You don't
and
know.
all this is just a build up for her to just move a bunch of fucking rocks at the end of the movie.
But before you saw this movie, and then after you saw this movie, did you really learn anything about Rey?
No.
So it was pointless.
Not a fucking thing.
And all those people with the Force Awakens going, oh, they're going to explain how she's so powerful, how she can know everything, and how she can, like...
No, they just gave her new random powers, like the ability to psychically link with, what's his name? With, fucking Kylo Ren.
Yeah, but wasn't that... Snoke said he did that? For some stupid reason?
Yeah, I forgot that line of dialogue, but you can't blame me.
Yeah, all the dialogue was not worth a shit. Not one goddamn piece of dialogue in this. Unless they ripped off shit from the old other films. I mean, the whole
they're just cringy lines of dialogue and horrible attempts at being funny.
The whole fucking thing with someone going somewhere else to train, and that older person doesn't want to train them, like Luke and Yoda in Empire, Rey and Luke in this movie. And you even had the Return of the Jedi scene, where the good person gives themselves up because they feel some goodness in the bad person, and they both go to the higher up bad guy, and the higher up bad guy tortures the good guy, and the lower bad guy says fuck this and kills the higher up bad guy.
Yeah, but it's nowhere near as effective because it's in the second movie, and it comes across as very half-assed, and it makes Snoke look completely
stupid,
ridiculous,
dumb, and pointless. And instead of electricity, he, as Mike said, is force fucking her. Just force fucking her. Make her come in her panties.
Force fucks Rey.
Make her have an orgasm right there.
Right up her fucking snatch.
Rey, I fucking hate this character. Nothing about this character is interesting to me.
I don't like this
She's
character
an OP.
anymore because this film did nothing to expand upon this character. I thought her performance also was very flat. She didn't improve in terms of her acting in the last one. It's just the same kind of line delivery that doesn't really have that much emotion or personality or charisma. And like I said, it's all this build up and all this build up, and all she fucking does is move some rocks at the end.
Yeah.
I mean, she did get in a fight with the Snoke's Emperor's Guard or whatever the fuck, Imperial Guardsmen, along with Kylo
Ren.
Which was like the only decent action sequence out of the entire movie.
Because this motherfucker is still crying. Kylo Ren. He even has temper tantrums in this movie.
Yeah. And I know people were telling me, oh, he won't do that anymore. Like, he'll stop doing that. Nope.
He did it here.
Like, almost immediately he does that. He starts smashing his helmet against the fucking wall and never wears it again.
And, like...
Because we gotta see the star. And I'm like, Disney,
yeah.
Adam Driver isn't a fucking star.
Drive his ass off a bridge. Not literally, folks. His fucking career can drive off a bridge. Does he... Not much... anything. Maybe he's better in other movies, not in this.
He has no presence. At all.
It's a
except being a whiny, emo, annoying bitch. I don't really...
But that's a good villain, Mike. At least that's what I've been told. That's a good villain because he's more realistic. Because some people are like that in real life. You can't all just be the same, Mike. You can't have just the same badass villain, Mike. You gotta have more multi-dimensional.
You know what? I'll take badass, but simple, over get them. I mean, it's just, unless it's a joke, intentionally humorous, like Shredder in the Turtles cartoon.
So
I wouldn't really approach it that bad. That's not a good approach to make to a character.
Bitch.
You're a villain.
A bitchy villain.
He's not intimidating. He's not scary.
I don't give a fuck about him.
No.
Give a fuck.
And for all the people saying, like, it's ballsy, it's good because it's not a Star Wars movie.
It is ballsy because they're putting their balls in your mouth and making you swallow the hair to choke on it.
Same motherfuckers would praise the shit out of Alien 3 if it came out in theaters today.
Tell them to take the balls off your chin, because you don't want any.
Because they'd all be like, it's ballsy, it's depressing, it kills everybody, it doesn't give a shit what you think. It's nihilistic. It's nothing like Aliens, and that's why it's great.
Oh yeah, Alien 3, yeah. I don't get that either. And this movie...
The same fucking, thought process, and if you feel that way, to each their own. I definitely don't agree with that. I don't agree with the people who are like, it's nothing like a Star Wars movie, so therefore it's a great film. It's like the writers for this went to the ultimate extreme after the criticism of The Force Awakens. People were like, it's too much like A New Hope. It's too derivative of the other films. Oh yeah? Well, we'll show you.
While ripping off scenes like Return of the Jedi.
This is nothing like it.
While ripping off scenes for Return of the Jedi Empire.
Well, I mean, yes, they're going to rip off scenes too, but they're also going to give you the middle finger while they're doing it.
Why is this a good story to take characters people liked and flush them down the toilet? Why is that good storytelling? Someone explain that to me. Can you explain that, Mike?
I can't. It's because it's dark and it's edgy.
Yeah, Yeah, the movie.
I know Empire Strikes Back was dark. And it had
that's dark done right.
Yes.
People forget this was a movie franchise that started with a boy and a girl in a galaxy far, far away. That's why they have the fucking thing in the beginning a long time ago. Like a fairy tale. Like it was this fantasy.
Well, it was George Lucas's tribute in a lot of ways to the serials from the 30s and 40s, like Flash Gordon and Buck Rogers and things like that.
And this movie's telling you you're wrong to believe in that. That's why some of these articles that people love it, you're wrong to like
Fuck
that.
Fuck you! Seriously. Don't be telling me that shit. I'm wrong. Like, who the fuck are you to say that shit? I'm not telling you that you're wrong for liking this. So why are you saying that to me? I see that all the time with, like, movies that are popular or, that say, you're wrong. Like, and I'm like, or they just get all triggered and shit because you don't like the movie. And then they get all pissy and upset and act like Kylo Ren. Maybe that's why they like him so much.
And it's one of those things when Luke said this line, which was talking to Rey on, what do you think was going to happen? I was going to walk out with a laser sword and face down the whole First Order. I'm like, first off, call it a fucking lightsaber. You know this shit. And second off, oh, you mean a good movie? Because, going out there, walk out with a lightsaber and face down the First Order, that would have been a good fucking movie.
Yeah.
That would have been
at least
fun
that would have been a good
movie.
Scene, at least. That would have been a badass final scene, a badass way for Luke to go out if he was going to go out, instead of the fucking bullshit that we got.
Yeah, do some John Wick on their ass. Except lightsaber style. Well, yeah, that's such a bad fucking thing, huh? No! I think people would like that. I guess, sorry, you can't have a good movie. Tough shit. We gotta have Luke getting milk from 4 nipples of this creature and drinking in front of him, in front of Rey. Here's some nipples from this creature, and get some nipple milk. From some titties.
Get some titty.
Not even like a good set of titties. It's a fucking creature dinosaur titties. Jesus Christ. 2.5 fucking hours of boring bullshit. And it did not need to be that long. And ultimately, what did this movie was pointless. It was just point A going to point B, and they're worse off than they were at the beginning of A New Hope. So it makes these 3 fucking movies pointless. And everything they did. Luke, you're the chosen one. Luke, you don't bring balance to the Force. All these people telling him this shit.
You're the chosen one to sit on your fucking ass.
Run away like a coward chicken shit pussy.
Run away to go drop the ring off at fucking Mordor with the fucking hobbits and shit in the mountains. And then go back and, I guess, force teleport your fucking spirit across the galaxy.
Yeah, this is what happens at the end.
Then meditate and then fucking die, and then turn into a bunch of dust, and then blow away in the fucking wind.
Like dust in the
he's
wind.
fucking Sandman in the end of Spider-Man 3. I was expecting Tobey Maguire to show up and cry.
Well, you have Kylo Ren to do the crying here. Yeah, that's what happens at the end. You have fucking either Leia, after being blasted, frozen, flies like Mary Poppins, Superman, or you have Luke isn't even fucking there, and doesn't even get into a fight. He just dodges so that the 10 people left can follow these fucking CGI wolf antler. What the fuck
foxes.
they were?
White foxes.
White foxes with shit on their heads. So Rey can move some rocks, and then they get out of there.
Which I'm like, couldn't Rey just done that to begin with? Did they even really need Luke to distract anybody? Like, Rey was already there. Like, couldn't Luke have just, like, talked to her through his mind? But hey, they need to find a way out. Use your force powers to move these rocks out of the way. Like, Luke didn't even need to fucking do any of this shit. He didn't need to sacrifice himself in the most half-assed, insulting, depressing, dipshit, dreadful way possible.
Well, it's just like Han Solo in the last one. Oh, let's go onto an obvious trap and die.
Yeah.
And there was no point to that. I mean, hell, you didn't even get the three of them together. Han Solo, Leia, and Luke. And like we said before with, like, he didn't even know Han was dead, and no one mourns for Han, and they barely mourn for Luke. It's like...
They didn't even have, like, a funeral for Han or anything.
Well, yeah.
Chewie seems to have moved on, like, pretty quickly.
He's too busy with the porgs. The fucking shitty Furby motherfucker, straight out bedtime stories.
The new bestseller from Disney for the holiday season. Get your kid a porg for Christmas.
Go on YouTube, type in Bugsy Bedtime Stories Adam Sandler. And it's like a guinea pig with the anime fuck me eyes. And they look like these motherfuckers. Also, look at
G-Force, the movie they did with the guinea pigs.
G-Force, yeah. I just mentioned Bedtime Stories because they had like the same anime fuck me eyes.
Yeah. So the movie, it opens up. You have the Resistance fighters. They're led by, of course, there's spoilers. You already knew this already.
Yes.
So it's way late. Super late. But yeah. Resistance fighters, led by General Leia, evacuate their main base as a First Order fleet reaches them. And this is just an incredibly forgettable action sequence to open up the movie. CGI up the ass.
You saw most of this shit in the ending of the last one where they ripped off the ending of A New Hope. It's just, again, Poe is only there for X-Wing. And when he's not, put him in the closet. Or put him somewhere away with... That's not even a character.
No.
This is not even a personality. It's nothing. Poe, I'll take Cameron Poe.
Exactly. This movie would be so much better with Nicolas Cage.
As Cameron Poe.
Oh, yes. I love that.
I'm going to say the fucking day. He could take care of Kylo Ren.
Back in the box.
Put the lightsaber back in the box.
With the lightsaber. Oh,
John Malkovich, that's a better bad guy than fucking Kylo Ren and Torch Snoder. Snoke. Smoke. As a smoke in my pole. Fuck this fucker.
There's this really forgettable action sequence to open up the film. The resistance vessels, they jump into hyperspace, but to get away, but the First Order follows them because they have a tracking device.
Yeah, that's when the random Asian lady that we should feel for, but we don't know who the fuck she is, and they lengthen it out as if we're supposed to care that this random girl, I don't even still know her fucking name. Yeah, it's like
slow-mo and dramatic music, and we don't even know what her name is at all.
I don't know what her name is to this day. No. Boom, blows it all up.
And Leia's son, Kylo Ren, destroys the Resistance fighters, leaving the capital ships defenseless. But he hesitates to fire at the Resistance ship to kill his mother. TIE fighters, they destroy the bridge of the ship. They kill Admiral Akbar. So the It's a Trap guy, that meme is dead.
Yeah. Yeah, he man, I remember I was watching. I went, wait, is he dead? Like, I literally had to think, like, I guess he's dead. That was kind of a tear to people liked.
He was turned into calamari.
They don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck.
He survived the final battle
think.
at the end of Return of the Jedi, but not this one.
Yeah, it's a trap guy.
Yeah.
Like, you blinked and he's dead. Like, they don't give a shit.
Well, you even had another one, a character who's just there and doesn't do anything. Like Nia Nub. Like, nothing.
Oh, Lando's buddy at the end of Return of the Jedi with the big eyes, yeah.
He's just there.
Yeah, he disappeared, too.
Might as well just sticking a thumb up his ass.
Maybe
he can fly.
By the way,
shit.
Where the fuck is Lando?
Yeah, where the fuck is Lando?
They'll probably put him and kill him in the next one.
What? Is Finn gonna be his son or some shit?
Nah, they don't put Lando in and just kill him off in like 5 seconds, too. No, they won't kill him because we don't want to seem like we're racist. You know how Disney works. The fucking
yeah, but at the same time, they have this fucking character, DJ, played by Benicio del Toro, who has a stutter.
Like in one scene, like out of the blue. I don't remember him studying ever before or since, did he?
I think he stuttered like a couple times before.
Okay.
But yeah, it's like, why is he stuttering?
Benicio del Toro, why was he even in this? I don't mind. I like the actor, but it's like, it was a nothing part. Nothing.
Might as well be BJ.
Waste of his talent. I think he's a good
Absolutely.
actor.
He was much better as a collector in Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's a better Star Wars movie, sadly. It is. Even the second one, which I thought was a step down, is a better Star Wars movie than this.
Yeah, so Leia, she saves herself by becoming Mary Poppins in space.
Floats away.
She leaves Vice Admiral Amy Lynn Holdo, who's played by Laura Dern with purple hair, looking like an extra out of the Hunger Games, who acts like a total bitch, stone cold bitch for the majority of the film, and then randomly, close to the, like, I guess after an hour or so into the movie, she completely changes her character as soon as Leia wakes up. Like, all of a sudden, she's, like, all nicey nice and shit. And it's like, I always liked that guy. Although she was treating Poe like crap throughout most of the movie.
Yep.
So,
around there, Finn wakes up, bounces his fucking head, because comedy! And Rey gives Luke the lightsaber, and he fucking tosses it behind him. And you got the CGI Furby motherfuckers. And Snoke and Kylo Ren are talking.
You have the thing with Luke where Rey is talking about where she came from, Jakku. He's like, and he says some joke, like it was like just like middle of nowhere, you know, Jakku. Yeah, that is nowhere. Like, and it just felt like there were these lines of dialogue that just didn't fit. That just felt like they were forced in there.
He said like, "Oh, no one comes from nowhere." Well, it's Jakku.
No one comes from nowhere.
Jakku. Yeah, that's nowhere. That's pretty much nowhere. So okay, Rey from nowhere.
Like, it was just like, where is this coming from? Is he trying to be like Yoda's sense of humor, but it's not really working? It just comes out of left field and smacks you right in the face.
It's Rian Johnson. His name's synonymous with dick. With cock.
Dick slap. It's just this movie's just a giant
He's a
dick slap. So
Ryan Cocksucker.
And then you have the whole stuff with Rey and how she's like easily drawn to the dark side, and there's like a scene where she, I guess she like multiplies herself, like she's fucking multiple man, and
or it's like this mirror, whatever the fuck it is. And oh, I'm sorry, let me guess, we're not supposed to get it because you gotta wait till the next one and they'll explain everything. Like they explained everything in this one, which was jacked and shit, and they both left the fucking town. They left the fucking planet. And
then Luke is just some bitter old man.
He's an asshole. And he's a coward. He was so scared of Kylo Ren, and it's like, you didn't... This is, what, you fucking... Rian Johnson, are you a big fan of Crying Kid Part 3? With Daniel San being a pussy and not learning anything? Is that your favorite sequel? Ryan Cocksucker?
That would totally make sense, because you see a lot of similar sort of stuff. But yeah, and also, it's like Luke is looking like Jeff Bridges in Tron Legacy. He's got the fucking beard and long hair and shit. Kind of a similar sort of ending to the characters. Hey, I don't
People
blame you.
going
If I
over
had
the
something in
top
my
is
hands, I'd crush it
bullshit.
too. When I first heard about the news about Luke, I crushed a can. So I totally feel you.
What pisses me off about it is that at the end,
It's unnecessary.
If you like it, that's fine. But as a storytelling, as fans of characters, you know, I mean, hell, like I said, I didn't grow up as much with Star Wars as everyone else, but even I can see that, you know, I like these movies, and just, you know, the motherfuckers that take this and do such a shitty job, and they're getting away with murder to the point that this guy is getting a trilogy of his own of Star Wars. And I see people that don't deserve it because they did such a shit job, but I see other directors that do deserve it, whether it be the guy from Shoot 'Em Up, that, you know, he does a Reddit. He can't do a job to save his life, but he Shoot 'Em Up. That was a movie way better than this. And he can't get the time of day, as well as these other directors that get movies that are not as seen, or you have films in the past like The Fifth
even
Element.
classic directors like Joe Dante, and let's not give him another chance directing a big budget film, because he did that Looney Tunes movie that bombed. Let's not give him another chance, even though he has a great track record and knows how to do and direct a lot of great movies. Oh, how about, you know, Fred Dekker, not the best writer in the world, although he can be good in some instances. Yeah, Monster Squad and Night of the Creeps weren't hits, and RoboCop 3 was terrible, but I think he's a better option than a lot of other directors that are getting jobs.
Yeah, but he's writing the new Predator movie, so that's the job.
Yeah, and then what I've heard sounds like utter dog shit. So I love you, Fred, but yeah, no.
and yeah, people that go on our top, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Give a fuck. Go ahead, Mike. Sorry.
But yeah, I mean, I see what you mean. Like they did that too with Colin Trevorrow, and then they fired his ass.
And
the guy who directed Jurassic World.
And I guess they rewrote the script he had. Because I remember Mark Hamill saying, "Oh, he liked what that guy wanted to do with Luke and stuff." So I guess Rian Johnson's the motherfucker who wrote it. And you were telling me something. I know we're getting a little off tangent. Kathleen Kennedy. You were telling me something about the Han Solo movie.
Yeah, Kathleen Kennedy, she pretty much forced the original directors, Jim Lord and Chris Miller, off the film because she didn't like the approach that they had for the movie. She hired them.
Yeah.
And then she, 3 weeks in or whatever, was like, I don't like the fact you're making it too funny or whatever. It's not really representing the spirit of Star Wars. And this fucking shit is representing the spirit of Star Wars.
With the humor in this, and the porns, the Furby.
Well, not only that, but with the disrespectful, slap in the face.
I was just talking about, like, she doesn't like that comedy, whatever the hell it was, but then you have the humor in this that falls flat. And then, even worse offender, the stuff you're talking about with this disrespect, because they don't know what the fuck they're doing, man.
Or they do. And they have, like you said, they have more sinister motives. They're like, fuck the past. The future is now.
The past. Yeah. That's why I didn't want to give these people my money, man.
It's time to die.
I didn't want to give these people my money. I'm making this video because a lot of people seem to like what we do, and it's humbling. And just to warn people and fight these motherfuckers.
It's time for it to die. And I actually agree. It is time for this franchise
that's a line
to die.
in the movie.
If this is what I'm going to get,
it's a line in the movie. It's time to die.
Exactly.
It's time for Star Wars to die. It's already dead. It should have... If this is what was supposed to happen after Return of the Jedi, we didn't need these movies.
No.
There were
you got rid of the expanded universe for this.
There were comics and books that told all these adventures that Luke Skywalker went on. And all the things he did...
And Han Solo, too.
And Han Solo.
And how Han and Leia had kids, and they actually went on to do some awesome stuff.
And you went and you made these movies that just made them do nothing but be failures. Absolute fucking failures. These movies, all the stuff they didn't fucking matter. And in these movies, they become failures. What did Han Solo really accomplish in The Force Awakens? He didn't reach his son. What did Luke Skywalker really accomplish? He helped 10 people for 10 seconds. after being a dickhead for 2 hours. And
Same
after
thing.
Return of the
It's time
Jedi,
for the Jedi to die.
what adventures
Time
did
for the
Luke
Jedi to
Skywalker
end.
have? What great stuff did Luke Skywalker do? Nothing. He was a failure. And that's a line of dialogue by Yoda saying, well, failure is the greatest lesson of all. So it's like, suck it up, Buttercup, and deal with it. Because life sucks and then you die. Life sucks, that's how it is. Well, I'm sorry, that's not how Star Wars is. Oh, you just want stuff to be the same. No, the prequels are different.
Folks, if there was a Marvel film that Disney did that played as fast and loose with the story and with the characters and was as disrespectful and alienating and infuriatingly tone deaf with these characters as this film is, I don't think you would be giving that shit a pass.
Well, some people feel that way with like Thor 3, with how much comedy it is, or Ultron with Age of Ultron.
Well, a lot of people didn't give that a pass. But a lot of people are giving this a pass.
It's getting less and less because, again, the audience on Rotten Tomatoes
Which is good.
is getting lower. So
but there are still people who are saying things like, this is the best Star Wars film since Empire.
Which, that's their opinion. I don't see it, man.
I don't see it at all.
I keep saying man because this movie makes me want to smoke weed. I never smoked weed. But, you know, these fucking people...
I'm just going to be like the dude. You know, well, you know, like, that's just your opinion, man.
Yeah, to the people who say, this is the best movie since Empire. I'm like... Fucking, I don't know how. I'd rather watch the Christmas special than this fucking movie. At least that cartoon was half decent.
And if it has the ads, at least the ads would be fun.
The TV commercials are more entertaining than this. Shout out to Brad Jones who did a fun video on the commercials.
So Luke refuses to initiate Ren. I'm thinking of Ren and Stimpy for some reason. Luke refuses to initiate Rey in the ways of the Force because of his past failure in teaching Kylo. And you find out about the past, like, you know, the whole thing with Kylo and Luke and the group of Jedi and whatever. We don't even know what happened to the other Jedi. They were taken away, disappeared, walked off a fucking roof like Johnny Gobbs. We don't know.
And I was asking Mike, when Kylo and Rey were fighting those people in red, was that them?
Don't know.
Oh, it's playing episode 9. So you gotta wait for that.
But they show this flashback, and I guess Luke understandably saw that there was potential for Kylo to go rogue and be evil, and he had this impulsive moment where he turned on his lightsaber, was thinking about maybe killing him, but then he doesn't do it, and it's like portrayed as if like that's the moment when like Kylo felt that he was betrayed and he was no longer sure of himself and was afraid of his teacher and his master had betrayed him. And I'm like, this shit is so overwrought and terribly put together.
Melodramatic.
And absolutely 100% not effective at all. Because Luke is standing there for like what feels like 30 seconds, not doing anything, and Kylo wakes up, is like, whoa! And then, like, in another uncomfortable, like, amount of, like, space of time, it just seems like time is going by super slow because this film is extremely slow-paced. He then grabs the lightsaber and, like, puts it up to Luke's saber, and I guess that's the moment where Kylo went bad or some shit, and I'm just like, and Luke's like, it's my fault. I'm like, no, you sad sack of shit. It's not your fault. Kylo's just a douchebag. He had that in him the whole time. Like you could have easily killed him. Then you didn't. The guy should have known better. If he actually knew you and actually cared about you and really did have a relationship with you as a master, and you were and as an apprentice and a master, he would have been like, oh, what is going on? At least ask him first before you grab his lightsaber and try to fucking fight back. It's not like he was swinging at him or anything. I know it's nitpicking, but it just...
Well, the fucking makers of this film don't know what the fuck they're doing. So.
It just didn't work. Because it's supposed to be a big moment, and I was just like, this just falls flat.
It's lame.
Flatter than fucking roadkill.
Lame duck of a fuck.
Yeah, absolutely. So Luke is prompted by R2D2, and Luke, Obi, you're our only hope. Leia hologram, and he's like, oh, Uncle Ben, he did this for me. I'm gonna do this for her.
Which I don't. Again, that is what changes his mind. Not, hey, my sister is in trouble. My friend Han is dead, which I didn't fucking know. Even supposed to know.
Yeah.
No, watching a fucking nostalgia
These writers
train.
don't get Luke. Like, who is this? This doesn't even feel like Luke.
That's what Mark
like,
Hamill said. And he's right. He's so right. If you don't believe us, believe Mark Hamill at least. Even he hates these movies. He just can't say it, otherwise he gets sued for defamation or breaking some contract.
But he said things like, I don't like what they're doing with my character.
Yeah, but I mean, like, full force.
Yeah.
There was something that someone showed me a long time ago where it seemed like he was going into it, and Kathleen Kennedy was there, and Kathleen Kennedy cut him off.
Yep.
And said, oh, well, wait till the next one, episode 8. He's really important to us. You lying bitch. And people say, you do that because she's a girl? No, I'm doing that because she's a bitch. Doesn't matter if you have a dick or a tit. An asshole's an asshole. Everyone has them. That's equality.
She's the reason why I am really worried about any next film in the Star Wars franchise, and even going forward, because she has her foot firmly in Disney's ass right now.
They must like it. They like that foot up the ass.
Yeah, exactly. She's like the puppet master or some shit right now.
On another tangent, fuck it, this video will be as long as it wants. I mean, you're telling me about, I mean, she's not into all the Fox things, but just, the deal with Fox being
I mean, just the fact that Disney's allowing her to have this much sway makes me worry about that Disney has a bunch of glad-handing, just pussies running the company who are just let somebody just do whatever the fuck they want. And in some ways that can be a good thing, because they can just get the fuck out of the way for certain things like Deadpool and so on. But the problem with Disney owning Fox is, like, I don't have any faith whatsoever in them running that company.
But
the reason why, they're juggling way too much already as it is. How can one fucking studio be responsible for 40% of Hollywood, of the studio Hollywood's output? That's way too much for one fucking company to carry.
How much is it for a monopoly?
Getting close.
It's them and Google. They'll run the world. I forget who said that. Someone said that.
The Disney Empire. But, so yeah, Luke.
And it's working because it's making money from the toys and in the fucking box office.
So Luke is training Rey, and there's more jokey shit where he's got, use the Force, and, like, he has, like, a leaf or some shit and tickling her.
Not on her ass.
No, and then he smacks her in the hand later, as if he's like the fucking master from the Kung Fu TV series or some shit. I was surprised he didn't have a pebble in one hand.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was inspiration for...
And then you have, like, the caretakers and the porgs. We don't even know what the fuck the point of them is. Like, they're just there, I guess, to sell toys. The porgs are there to sell toys.
For kids.
And for the kids to be like, oh, it's so cute.
Because the kiddies laugh, and the grown-ups laugh.
Yeah, and then you had the caretakers. What the fuck was the point of them?
Why the fuck do people bitch about Ewoks?
Hey, I'm not a big fan of Ewoks, but they're fucking badass compared to the Borg.
Yeah, they got guerrilla tactics. Like Vietnam, man. Why does everything have to be about fucking Vietnam?
Why does everything have to be fucking Vietnam, man?
the dude abides, that's why. But the Ewoks, people bitch about the Ewoks. Look at this shit. These
the Porgs do nothing except there to look cute. And there's one scene that you already saw in the trailer where they're with Chewie, and one goes, wah!
Well, is that the one? Yeah. Yeah, Chewie doesn't want to eat one, and then doesn't eat it. Was there some animal rights thing going on in this movie too?
Yeah, because Disney's like, hey kids, don't eat meat. Be vegetarians. Drink titty milk, like Luke is doing.
Luke hunts a fish, so that's fine. He harpooned that fish from like 10,000 feet or whatever the fuck. Which is weird. Wouldn't he be able to do that with the Force? Just, here's some fish, right to my plate?
Well, that would be cool.
Yeah, we don't want cool. We don't. The one lightsaber battle, because I'm not calling the one at the end a battle. It's not even a fight. With Rey,
Luke just gets shot by a walker a million times,
but doesn't get shot because he
brushes it off. Yeah,
because he's pretty much projecting himself meditation style, and then dodges Kylo Ren
in slow mo.
Yeah, it's like Matrix slow mo. Like it's the fucking early 2000s when they were doing it with Charlie's Angels and shit.
Or it's Wonder Woman.
The Bulletproof Monk.
Wonder Woman slow.
Wonder Woman slow. Yeah, I did that too. I hate to say it, I'd rather watch Wonder Woman than this.
Yeah, I agree.
This was worse to me than fucking Justice League. Because this movie is 30, 40 minutes longer.
Yeah, this movie is more insulting and definitely more boring, but...
It's more insulting because they piss away
Luke. Definitely a lot more disappointing because I actually didn't mind. I thought the Force Awakens is a time waster. I thought it was okay.
There you go. See, I have a guy who didn't hate that movie.
So, then you have the whole thing. Luke talks to Yoda, and I'll give this scene credit. They did it. There was a puppet Yoda, and it looked pretty good. Wasn't CGI.
I'd give credit where the effects are not the problem.
No.
The effects
and it was nice to see. Well, the CGI they should not be the problem. The movie cost $200 fucking million or some shit.
And the music was fine. I mean, I can't say it was bad music. It was there.
I thought it was as forgettable as the music from The Force Awakens. It was just a lot of it was just rehashed stuff from the original trilogy, and that's the only moment when it was at all memorable. Any of the other stuff was just completely forgettable.
That's probably what I'm talking about, just the stuff they just rehashed from the original movies. I'm like, oh, it's fine music. I'll just watch these other movies, which are better.
Yeah.
Maybe I was just so pissed at what was going on screen. The music.
And I agree. The Yoda thing, I thought it was okay, but I didn't like the whole thing where Yoda's like, yeah, give up, fail.
And why the fuck, how the fuck, he's a ghost, right?
Yeah.
He just threw a lightning bolt at a tree. Why the fuck?
I think it was an X-Wing, I think.
Or whatever it was. But no, it was because it was the Jedi stuff, like the books and stuff are in. Was that? Mm-hmm. He can't do that to Kylo Ren? Just throw a lightning bolt at his ass?
Apparently not.
He can't do that?
And I didn't even know that Luke could even do the meditation shit and transfer his spirit or consciousness or some shit across the galaxy. Where the fuck did that come from? Yoda never did that shit in any of the other films.
Well, that's the point.
Obi-Wan never did that. Vader never did that.
That's the point.
Sidious never did that. Nobody ever did that.
It's a new movie, so it gives us something new. Just like Leia flying through outer space.
Yeah, but that's just fucking bullshit, because it doesn't make any sense. There's no, continuity at all. It's like you had an X-Men movie, and then a certain X-Men just randomly had some new mutant ability that never fucking had before.
Wolverine just, for some reason, has Cyclops powers. Oh, you mean like Deadpool and X-Men
like
Wolverine?
Deadpool.
That went over so great. No, it didn't. It went over like a fucking hot poker up your ass.
So, Holdo reveals her plan to discreetly evacuate the resistance members using small transports. Believing her actions to be cowardly and risky, Poe decides to instigate a mutiny. It leads to absolutely fucking nowhere.
He gets stunned by Leia, and then's like, yeah, evacuate anyway. Because after she wakes up, let's evacuate. And then while they're evacuating, most of the ships get blown up except like one.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole thing with Finn and the Asian lady and Benicio del Toro, what was the point of that? To
establish the kids for the last scene in the film.
Great, the reject scene from Newsies. Waiting for Christian Bale's kid, Christian Bale himself. Hey, I
Wait
was a
for them
news-
to start singing "Seize the Day."
That was a Disney movie, right?
Yeah, it was.
Oh,
It's a
well,
better
wait.
movie than this.
There's another thing. The girl with the goggles.
Mm-hmm.
You said you had
Maz Kanata, yeah.
something on her back. You told me it looked like.
It looks like the Rocketeer's jetpack to me, but
It did look like that when you said like, did they steal the Rocketeer? Is that a Disney movie too, or no?
yeah,
It is.
yeah.
They're just stealing everything, aren't they? But it's so bold and original and new. Fuck that shit. It's as new as a crack whore. As bold as a fucking pencil up your dick hole. Fuck this shit.
So Rey lands on Snoke's ship. She has the whole thing with Darth City. Oh no, wait, it's Snoke.
He should be snorting cocaine like those guys in heavy metal. His fucking big ass nose. Oh, that's why you call Snoke? Snorting cocaine or take a
So
ride,
he's just
ride.
in his fucking gold bathrobe. He's a fucking dumbass because he's all talking like he knows everything. Yes, do it. You kill the enemy. You're going to kill the one person who's your resistance. Blah 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 blah. Then he doesn't fucking know that Kylo Ren's gonna kill his ass.
Yeah, he's like, I know every thought you have. I know everything that you're thinking. You just make this guy the biggest dumbass ever. And I'm like, this is good writing, apparently. Maybe he was upset because he didn't have any distro shoes for his fucking gold member fucking vest, bathrobe, whatever the fuck. He needed those fucking shoes with the goldfish in them or something. Whatever the fuck they were. And he dies, and you're like, this whole character was pointless. But that's the point, it's to swerve you. That's why it's good, Mike, because it swerves you. Automatically, that makes it good. Because it swerved you, Mike. It swerved us.
There's a lot of films that swerve me, and they're shit. There's a lot of films that swerve people, and people say they're shit for good reason. This gets a pass for some people because it's Star Wars. Although there are a lot of Star Wars fans who call this film out and it's bullshit, and that's nice to see.
But again, if you like this film, that's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. I have no issue with that.
We just won't agree to... We won't understand it, but hey. It's cool.
Don't get it. So, the one decent fight scene, one decent action sequence is a lightsaber battle with Rey and Kylo with the guards. But it's like, what, 2 minutes?
If that.
And then the other stuff before the space battles, there's nothing to them. They're not memorable in the slightest.
I know people like hate these prequels because the fight scenes, they say it's too choreographed. And hell,
but that's exciting and interesting and action. There's something there.
And the original films, they got emotion to it. Like Luke's fight with Vader at the Return of the Jedi is my favorite lightsaber scene.
Yeah, I love that fight. That's a great fight.
And it's really like just him just hammering in on Vader. But the emotion was done well. Mm-hmm. The build-up was done well. The story was done well.
Well, I mean, I'll take the over-choreographed lightsaber battles in the prequels over this shit. This is just
people fucking around.
Laissez-faire, not really that much effort into it.
People fucking around in their backyard.
I've seen people fucking around in their backyard or doing YouTube band videos that do better choreography than what I've seen in this.
And they even add effects of lightsabers
so far.
They even add effects that, like, they have lightsabers and that's better. Because the action scenes in this suck ass.
They do.
Even the action scenes suck. Name
forgettable.
Name one action scene that's great, folks. For those who love it, please feel free, man. People out there.
So Kylo invites Rey to rule the galaxy with him, but of course she refuses.
Like Vader did to Luke in Empire. And Rey, you know, what all has she gone through that's so bad? I mean, she's perfect and she's so powerful and she hasn't really...
Well, she got force-fucked by Snoke.
Okay, she got force-fucked. Other than that, adversity helps a hero out, you know?
And then they tried to get Anakin's lightsaber Like they're using the Force and they're force fucking each other trying to get it, and then it breaks.
Pulls into two.
And Rey escapes. The First Order distracted by this battle. Kylo is declared the new Supreme Leader. Isn't that the name of that fucking villain, the bad guy in Rocky and Bullwinkle?
It might be. I haven't seen that in a while.
Isn't that the fucking name?
And I'm on that. Finn and the Asian girl got captured. Benicio del Toro turned on them, and BB-8.
Yeah, that was so unpredictable, wasn't that?
Yeah, Benicio del Toro. Whoa. So, might as well be Vincent D'Onofrio.
Oh, it's Fearless Leader.
Oh,
might as well be Fearless Leader over here.
And then like BB-8's hiding this fucking thing, and you have this evil robot like Darth BB-8.
Yeah, so BB-8 ends up hacking into one of those tiny walkers, like the ones that were, I think, at ATST, I think is the name of it. That is the one, or AT, yeah, I think like ATST. I could be wrong. Those are the ones that are in the forest in Return of the Jedi. Hacks into it like he's that fucking Nico or some shit from RoboCop 3. Loyal as a puppy. Hacking into that 209.
God damn, man.
And so you have that sequence. There's like some battle or something that happens on that ship. Like stuff starts blowing up, and
well, it destroys a lot of stuff. Oh, Laura Dern sacrificed herself by going to light speed and like fucking up tons of ships in a suicide. Like
which makes the whole thing that they were doing earlier like absolutely 100%.
Yeah, Finn and. If I mix up characters' names, I apologize for it.
No, it's Finn and Rose.
Finn and Rose. The whole casino thing was pointless. Fucking pointless. And you just say, oh, Empire Strikes Back, it did this and that. Yeah, they were entertaining. Like Empire Strikes Back with the monster
the stuff that they did that wasn't necessarily necessary for the plot to move forward, it was entertaining. It was fun.
The characters were worth the shit.
This was not entertaining. And the characters were way better.
Characters were worth a shit, and the story actually went somewhere.
And there's no suspense, there's no thrills, there's no like, oh, I hope this person doesn't die.
No.
There was none of that.
Give a fuck if any of these people died.
Even Luke was an asshole.
Yeah, they treated Luke so poorly in this.
And that's what really fucking made me heated. That really pissed me off so much, because Luke is my favorite character out of the series. As much as I like Han Solo and everything, and Han is a fun character and everything, I've always liked Luke because I felt Luke, I related to him, like his attitude, his strength, his will to survive and keep going forward and so on. And just to see this character just get absolutely mutilated was just infuriating.
Because when Return of the Jedi ends, you go, I wonder what else is he going to do?
Yeah.
There's train a new group of Jedi, and what new adventures will he get into? And
this would be like if you had Logan, the movie Logan, and he doesn't do anything. Like Wolverine doesn't do shit except die in the end.
Yeah. Yeah.
That movie would suck.
But no, Luke doesn't have any adversaries, any fights, any adventures. Not even like a new enemy coming from...
We can't even have them get together either.
Oh yeah, there's no Luke, Leia, and Han Solo. They could have had that in Force Awakens.
I mean, even the scenes with Luke and Leia, or Luke and Yoda, they just don't even recapture the same magic as the original trilogy. It just feels like it's just there for fan service.
Yeah, when Luke,
it's not even really necessary.
Sees Yoda,
there's no passion.
It's like, oh, my old friend. No, it's like Luke doesn't really do anything. Oh,
yeah, Luke
Yoda.
is an ass to Yoda. Hasn't seen Yoda in forever, and he's just like, Yoda's like, he's like, I've got to destroy the Jedi Temple or some shit.
Which I don't know why. What the fuck were these ghosts doing for those decades?
I'm gonna burn it down.
Why didn't these ghosts see Luke? What, they're just too busy jerking off in Jedi heaven?
They're too busy jerking off.
They're just too busy doing nothing, I guess.
Too busy having space sex. Space orgies. Ghost orgies.
That'll be the next one.
So, Poe, Finn, and Rose, they end up getting into these, like, old speeders, like, that are just, it's just a lame fucking climax.
Oh, on non-Hoth?
Yeah, it's not Hoth,
No.
but it looks like Hoth, but the white stuff, it's not ice or snow, it's salt. It might as well be cocaine.
I missed that.
Or crack.
Yeah. I missed that it was salt.
Or
where the fuck
you know, it is salt, and because there's enough salt to just make everybody who saw this shit super salty.
And you have the walkers, so it just makes you remember Empire Strikes Back. Except at the beginning of that film, it's the end of this film.
And it's extremely lame, because all it is like these fucking speeders that move super slow and like drag on the fucking ground. Drag their ass. Like, this movie is done for 2 hours and 20 minutes by this time.
Yeah.
And you have Kylo, who's in one of these walkers, and Luke shows up, and he fires at Luke, and nothing happens, and then he gets in a little mini confrontation with his Force fucking reflection, or force field, or whatever the fuck it is. Hologram.
His fucking Doctor Strange is a better Jedi movie than this.
Yeah. You should have had, like,
Doctor Strange.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's character from, like, Quaid show up for True Lies. Like, you think this is the real Quaid?
It is.
It is.
And fucking, like, I have this movie right over here I just watched recently. This has an astral projection fight. Doctor Strange way better than this
that's
film.
really good.
And that's a
great
Disney
fight.
movie.
That's a Disney movie.
But it's Marvel, and Kevin Feige, whatever you feel about Marvel, they're doing better than this shit. Even if you hate Marvel films, it's better than this shit.
It's a lot more respectful. That's for sure.
Doctor Strange itself, way better Star Wars movie than this. He's a way better Jedi.
I agree.
Fuck,
totally.
Man.
So yeah, you should have had Luke be like, "You think this is the real Luke Skywalker?"
It's not.
It is.
Oh my god.
But no, you know, he just does the whole strike me down and I'll become more powerful than ever, or some bullshit.
So we'll probably see him in the next one as a ghost.
Yeah.
Whoop-de-fucking-do.
He dies peacefully and fades away.
Like dust
into
in
dust.
the winds.
And then Rey moves some fucking rocks out of the way, and she flies off in the Falcon. The Resistance fighters, they escape aboard the Millennium Falcon. Leia reassures everybody that the Rebellion has all that it needs to rise again.
And it has like a pull-out shot, like, hey, the next dozen movies, here we go. Are you prepared? Fuck no, I don't want a Han Solo movie. I don't want a fucking movie with these fucking losers.
And then the last shot looks like something straight out of an advertisement for Disney's Star Wars park at Disney World or some shit.
Yeah, it's a TV commercial for their toys. Did you saw they have the action figures.
Bright. You have these kids. You see the kids. One of the kids that helped Finn and Rose escape. He grabs a broom with the Force, because apparently he has Force powers. Which is the whole thing where Luke said that Luke was saying like there's more. It's like fucking Highlander. It's like that there's only one. There's the last Jedi. I'm not the last Jedi.
There can be only one.
There is
and
one
then
other
the next
Jedi.
one there's 50 more. So it's like every Highlander sequel.
And so there's kids like playing around, and one kid's like, I'm Luke Skywalker, talking about legends and shit. And I'm like, what is this, Hook? Are these the Lost Boys? It's like, you are the Pan.
Like, what are they trying to do? Are they going to go in this, everyone can have the Force?
Luke kind of said that.
In yourself.
Yeah, he kind of said that. Not only the Jedi can access the Force. I'm like, what the hell? What is the point of the Force then? If it's everybody can fucking do, like, what's the point?
Well, they
If
say
that
the
was the case,
Force
then
is
why
around
didn't
us.
anybody do that shit earlier?
Because they're trying to say the Jedi, they were wrong. But then it's like, I'm not the last Jedi, so I guess it's okay to have Jedi, but it's wrong to have Jedi? This movie doesn't even know what the fuck it wants. Oh yeah,
So,
wait
the
till the
last
next
shot,
one.
kid has this rebel ring
Yeah.
and grabs a broom, looks up into space. I half expect to see Disney, Star Wars at Disney World.
In the Magic Kingdom. Jesus Christ. I'll stick with The Last Starfire if I want to watch someone look
exactly.
up in the sky.
That's a lot better.
I can't look up in the sky and then... Much better movie.
Much better movie. So yeah, we have the direction by Rian Johnson. What are your thoughts on the direction? Just to end things, kind of do a rundown.
Okay, the direction... I can't... Sometimes the editing was weird. I mean, I think that's part of the direction, because
Editing by Bob Duxey.
I remember one time you were mentioning it was almost as if you were watching like a DC movie.
Yeah, it did feel like that, because it was just a smattering of scenes that were just really loosely connected together, which really led to the film being such a slow-paced slog to sit through.
The direction, honestly, was at best pedestrian, because I didn't see anything that was awe-inspiring or even
Well, I mean, even J.J.
decent.
Abrams' direction in the last film, it seemed like there was more shots that were more visually impressive to me. Like, that he had more of an emphasis on practical stuff. Like, this seemed like it went backwards. There were some practical sets and things like that, and they shot on location.
Yeah, the Yoda puppet, yeah.
In fucking the same place where Highlander was filmed, or Lord of the Rings.
Where they went to drop the ring.
Fucking walking around.
Fuck.
But, it was there. It wasn't terrible, but there really wasn't a lot to it. The good-looking shots, they were good-looking, but the rest of the film was so fucking atrocious, it didn't really matter to me. Like, I can get good-looking shots out of a screenshot, a storyboard, a comic book. That doesn't save the film.
I mean, visually, it was fine. I have no issue, like, the effects and stuff, but... Mm-hmm. We haven't said that one time the visual effects were the problem.
No.
It's the story.
The screenplay by Rian Johnson. He needed a fucking writer, another writer, some kind of rewrite, something. Like, this script was not good enough.
Obviously, the producer were in for this because they fired the other guy.
Yeah.
And whatever the hell he wanted to do. Just for I understand, this was a different script. I would love to know what J.J. Abrams thinks, that this is the direction he wanted. Because he's going to do the next one. So it's like, you better be happy with it. I guess so, because he's going to do the next one. It's like, fuck you for Force Awakens and fuck Rian Johnson for this. This is even worse, though. This is the worst Star Wars movie.
I agree.
I mean, I don't like Rogue One, and I don't like Force Awakens, but this was more insulting because, like... People kept saying, with Force Awakens, wait to see what they're doing. And this is what they're doing. They're pretty much saying, fuck you.
It's the Alien Covenant, or Alien 3 of the Star Wars franchise.
Yeah. And one article, even though they liked the film, they said it, this movie doesn't care if you like Star Wars.
Nope.
To them, they think it's great. It doesn't care if you like Star Wars. And that's why people... are not liking it.
That's not the right approach to take for a Star Wars film. That's not the right approach to take for this new trilogy. It's an extreme approach, and I think it's definitely the wrong approach. Hey, let's take a page from DC and Warner Brothers.
I don't understand the thinking where they went, this was so good, why don't we give this guy 3 more movies? Why?
I don't get that either.
I ask people out there, feel free to write in the comments, why? Why is this film so good this guy deserves 3 more movies? Character-wise, writing-wise, action-wise, why? For those who love it, you tell me why in the comments. On why he deserves 3 more movies and why this was so good. Why is this the best movie since Empire? Feel free to tell me why. Why is this not a disservice to these characters? Force Awakens started it. This movie definitely ended this.
Oh, it finished it.
It fucking finished
Slit its fucking throat.
Like
and shat down its fucking
neck.
Like
a fucking pig. Like you would see in Southern Comfort. Just fucking slit the throat of the pig and just drained it all the blood. Okay, you can see the direction and the writing.
Score wasn't much. Well, the writing, the main issue, the biggest issue is the way it's treating the original trilogy characters. And not only that, even the new characters didn't have that much to do.
Even if you like these new characters, what did you like about this film? I'm not talking to mine, I'm talking to people watching this. And if you like these movies, why would you like this movie? I don't get it. I'm not saying this to be an asshole. I'm saying this as a sincere question as to why.
Yeah, curiosity.
Why? How is this a good end for these characters that went on to do nothing but be failures? They were failures. That's what this movie told us with The Force Awakens. That everything they did in these 3 movies was pointless. Because they failed. Because they got something 10 times bigger, 10 times stronger, Death Star 10 times bigger. And this movie's literally telling you this shit is wrong. With the Jedi, that was the wrong way to do it. Because you had an asshole like Darth Vader and you have an asshole like Kylo Ren. Things have to burn down and change. Because this is the wrong way to do it. That's what this movie's telling you.
It doesn't make any sense because that's human nature. Like, there's always going to be somebody who's more inclined to do the wrong thing or be evil or use their powers for evil instead of good.
Like Mike, we're always going to have wars.
Yes.
But you can't tell me World War II was pointless.
No, absolutely not. That is the last war that actually really meant something and was actually legitimately a legitimate war, in my opinion. Like, that was the last war that actually...
And it did mean something, and it still reflects to today that it meant something. It's not... So, that's what people want to talk about in realistic, even though it's fucking Star Wars, it's fantasy. But people want to argue in that route. But that war wasn't pointless. In this war, you're making this pointless. And why are you bringing up realistic stuff? This is what people actually told me when I reviewed The Force Awakens years ago. That's real life. Real life is a bummer, man. There's still wars today. That's what people defended The Force Awakens with, telling me that stuff. The same people told me to wait. They don't answer all these questions about why Rey is this, and how is she so powerful, and oh, she's going to get trained from Luke. I told... There's nothing that Luke can do to train her, and I was right. Because he didn't do anything.
Nope.
He did nothing but have her meditate and yoga for literally 30 seconds. But sorry, go ahead. Like, the music, I didn't hate it, but I don't remember it. It didn't, like, I can't say, oh, it was hard to listen to. It's just, I was getting so pissed I barely remember the music. So maybe that's why.
Cinematography by Steve Yedlin,
Sure.
The editing, it's a lot of
The editing.
152 minutes. The running time was way too fucking long. Could have cut out 30 to 40 minutes.
The entire Finn and Rose thing could have been cut out. The Rose character, pointless. Not likable, not interesting. No reason for her to be there other than to maybe sell some tickets in China because she's an Asian character. And people could say that's cynical, but these are business people first. That's what they look at.
That's Disney. They are about making money. Money first.
They're doing a good job.
Storytelling, other stuff second.
That's why I haven't said much about the Fox deal because I didn't know. But man, if it's shit like this, I mean, Alien's in the shitter, and most of these are in the shitter. But something I've learned: when you think it's bad, it can always be worse.
Oh, absolutely. And this film is a prime example of that. And for people who say things like, "Oh, there'll always be war," and there'll always be things like that. Yeah, and there will always be shitty fucking movies like Star Wars, The Last Jedi.
Exactly.
With absolutely awful, abhorrent, despicable, terrible screenplays like the one that is in this film.
Yeah.
That's not going to change either.
Yeah, it's not. It is absolutely not. And we'll be honest with you. Whether you agree or disagree with us, whether you hate or love us, we're not going back down. Just fuck it.
No.
There's no reason to.
Absolutely not.
The acting, the writing didn't help him.
No. See, the thing is, a lot of these actors, they didn't have anything to really work with. They might as well just had a blank page, like a bunch of blank pages. Just improvise, because you got nothing.
And people can say, well, the original films didn't have character development. If you feel that way, then you know what? You do it better. That's what you're supposed to do.
And if that's okay, and I mean, and if that's the case, they had a charisma that made up for it.
Or yeah, they had a good story.
Personality.
Or at least they had a decent story around them.
Yes.
Even if it's a classical good versus evil story. Which this is barely even that. Because Kylo Ren's not evil, he's not evil, blah, 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 blah. He's fucking being a pussy. He's trying all the time. There's a lot of good in him. He doesn't kill Leia. Someone else tries to kill her. And, it's supposed to be three-dimensional, but it's more like, I don't give a fuck about this guy because the writing's piss poor.
Yeah, Mark Hamill as Luke. He tries, but his character, the way it's written, is
He's handcuffed.
horrible. He's handcuffed, exactly. Can't really do that much. Also, I don't blame him for not delivering the most passionate performance. Because his heart isn't in it.
I feel bad for Mark Hamill, man. He
I
listened
do
to this
too,
shit
because
and
he was shoehorned into doing this. It was forced to. It's like Bill Murray in that cameo, or all the Ghostbusters in the cameos, and the Ghostbusters remake.
And maybe on that I get a little bit harsher with Bill Murray because he was a dick to Harold Ramis for so long, and he didn't want to do a Ghostbusters for so long. They had chances to.
Yeah.
So maybe sometimes I'm a bit more harsh on Bill Murray because of that. Mark Hamill, he never did that, and he had no choice in. He has no power, and he's less.
And you would
famous.
think he would.
He's less famous than Bill
Luke,
Murray.
You know?
But they don't give a fuck about Luke. It's there to get people in for nostalgia, and it's baggage, it's old baggage, so we gotta get rid of them, so that final shot, not the final, but of the Millennium Falcon, that's like, here is our new team. Moving on. Man, phew, no more of that baggage. Han Solo and Chewbacca we could keep because we could put anyone in there and sell Chewbacca toys. R2-D2, I'm surprised he wasn't in one. They just sell R2-D2 toys. No, we got
So it's just space junk. They're space junk. They're space garbage to us.
Yeah.
Adam Driver did not improve. In fact, I thought his performance was even more of a step down.
Yeah.
Than his performance in the last film. Carrie Fisher, she's just there.
Yeah, I mean,
she's okay.
Sadly, because of what happened in life, her voice was not that good.
I didn't like how the first her and Luke meet up, and it's this joke about her hair. Like, there's a lot of that just awkward shit with this movie. Like, the really attempts at humor, they were about as awkward and forced as the jokes in Batman vs. Superman or Justice League.
You should be clapping when these characters get together, and you don't.
You don't. The same thing happens with Yoda.
Yeah.
Daisy Ridley.
I never liked her. Did you like her in The Force Awakens?
I thought she showed more personality or some sort of charisma in the last film.
Okay.
I didn't see much of that at all in this.
She didn't really do anything.
No.
She stood around, looked in like the mirror thing, whatever the fuck that was, had that fight after being force fucked.
Yep.
And moved some rocks.
It. Move some rocks. That's it. Finn.
Well, the Millennium Falcon scene she was shooting with Chewie driving.
Okay, alright.
Well,
Finn could have done that. Poe could have done that. Anybody could have fucking done that.
Yeah.
Luke could have done that shit if he forced his spirit into there and shot fucking...
Here, that's the thing. How about Luke controls the Millennium Falcon with his force? And controls it, and no one's piloting. And just controls it, you know. That shows some power. At least it'd be something like cool. This movie doesn't give a shit about cool. It says, fuck cool.
We'd rather be square.
They're hip to be square.
But, yeah, John Boyega as Finn, I thought his performance was also another step down. Then again, he was giving cringy lines of dialogue and banana peel pratfalls to deal with, but...
Also, did you feel that in the first movie it seemed like they were going to go for, like, a romance?
Yeah, with Rey and Finn, and they had some chemistry.
And then here, it's like...
Nope.
Is that why they put the Asian lady in there?
I guess because they want to have them be a thing, but they don't have any fucking chemistry whatsoever. I mean, two fucking rocks have more chemistry than those two do.
Yeah, fucking cat and a dog have more chemistry with each other than... Because she, like, kisses him.
Yeah.
And it's like, what the fuck? Like, what was the whole point with the Rey Finn thing? Once again, they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Nope. Oscar Isaac, like you said, he's just there to fly an X-Wing and then go back into a fucking closet.
Yeah.
So I can't say much about his performance. Andy Serkis.
Oh, Snoke. That was such a useful character that they built up for nothing.
Yeah.
Because that's a swerve.
Lupita Nyong'o as Maz Kanata has like one little cameo role. Flies around in the jetpack she stole from the Rocketeer. And that's
her.
it.
Okay, yeah.
Domhnall Gleeson as General Hux, chewing up the fucking scenery again, spitting it out, being as every bit as annoying as he was before.
Your favorite character, right?
I hate this fucking guy. He's so annoying. He's like, I'm evil. Look at me. I'm the evil bad guy.
Dun dun dun. Dun 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 dun.
And Kylo had a chance to kill him, and he didn't. I'm just like, why are you keeping this guy alive? He's just fucking annoying and over the top and not in a good way. Fuck Hux.
He could be fucking Huckleberry Finn drowning in the fucking river.
Exactly.
Tom Sawyer just dragged his ass down the fucking stream.
C-3PO has a scene where he's doing the whole odds joke, and Poe tells him to shut up. Yeah, that's more disrespect to the original trilogy characters.
It's like, movie, no, you shut up. I know it's supposed to be funny, but it's not funny.
Gwendolyn Christie's Captain Phasma.
Well, why did they hype her up so much in the previous film? And here, it's literally, she comes in, what, 2 hours or hour 40?
Feels like 2 hours.
It was like 5 minutes of screen time, to be serious. Including her death.
Yep.
I would be surprised if it was more. And that whole thing between him and Finn, her and Finn, there's nothing.
It's like a minute?
Yeah.
45 seconds?
Yeah.
Most memorable thing about it is terrible, cringy lines of dialogue.
Yeah,
Chrome Dome and Rebel Scum.
Yeah.
Kelly Marie Tran as Rose Tico. Why did they shoehorn this character in there?
I guess, like
you said, the whole thing. I can get that, the whole Asian markets, but it just the character sucks.
For some reason they just decided.
Like even if it doesn't matter what the race is of the character, and if she was a good character, I'd be all for it. But she wasn't. She added nothing to the film, and I just don't even know why she was even there.
Well, of course it doesn't matter. One of our favorite characters, Danny Glover in Predator 2,
yeah.
Because he's a badass motherfucker named Mike Harrigan. That's a sequel that I shit on, but this gets to pass. And Predator 2 is shitty? Critics and people? Give me a fucking break. Get the fuck out of Dodge and the horse you rode in on. What the fuck?
Get the fuck out of here.
Fuck you and the horse you rode in.
Laura Dern, I like her, but I didn't like the character. She seemed like a two-faced bitch.
And then has a change of heart out of the blue because that's her character. And then does
Benicio del Toro, nothing to him whatsoever. And that's it. That's your cast. It's your performances. Nobody delivered anything that was like, wow, that was a great performance.
What do you say about Benicio?
There's nothing to him. Like, he just stuttered a few times and was like, just seemed like he was bored.
Waste of his talent. He's a good actor.
Yeah. And it seems like he was bored.
I didn't see Sicario, but you said he was good in that.
Oh, right? He was fantastic in that.
Well, there you go. I remember one time he was going to star in, like, a Predator movie, and that would have been cool.
Yeah.
Like, he's a good actor. He was getting nothing to do.
He is, folks. Check out Sicario. Like, this is a much better film in terms of showing his talent than
I definitely need to check that out.
Or The Hunted.
Yeah, The Hunted with Tommy Lee Jones. That's a great movie.
Yeah, we'd rather talk about other movies. Yeah. We're at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say. I've said a lot. I'll probably say more when I do my own video, so stay tuned for that. I'll probably try to sit through the movie again by myself before I do that, because honestly, I've forgotten most of it already. That's how great this film was. Just watched it, and it's already went through my head, out my ass.
Before we head out, I'll ask Mike some questions.
Okay.
Going forward, what do you think happens with this franchise?
All I can say is it's going to keep... The only way... I mean... I'm just trying to think of the way this movie just going to discombobulate in my brain cells right now.
Our brain cells are farting. This movie kills brain cells.
So, where are they going to go from here? I mean, you would think they could only go up, as the saying goes, but I think they're just going to continue to crash and like continue to go deeper and deeper into the shitter.
Yeah.
I mean, they've made their bed. They've fallen on this particular sword.
And fucked up these characters.
I don't think they're going to... How are they going to make up for this? They can't. Oh, Luke's going to show up and he's a Force ghost? Whoop-de-fucking-do. Yay. Wow. Doesn't change the fact that he didn't really do that much at all in this new trilogy.
So I guess the bad guy is going to be Kylo? Who she already beat in the first movie. Yeah. She already beat his ass in the first movie and she knew nothing. So why are we supposed to be worried about this?
The better idea would have been to have turned Rey in this film and had Kylo take her place. Then it would actually be legitimately ballsy and unpredictable, and I would be like, wow, I'll give you credit for that. I actually had that idea. I actually thought that would be a way to kind of make things interesting and swerve the audience, but in a way that I feel would be somewhat effective. Because, you know, Rey's character is kind of a Mary Sue and all of this, and I probably triggered a bunch of people for using that word, but she really is.
Yeah. Well,
like, first I thought she wasn't, but then I saw The Force Awakens more times, and I'm like, to be honest, she kind of is.
When you look at this movie, and there's nothing... Like, all these things are going to be explained as to why she's so powerful.
Nothing ever is. It's like Alien Covenant all over again. Like, the sequel to Prometheus is going to explain all these questions.
And the thing is, like, Kylo Ren, no one would buy him as a good guy because he killed Han Solo.
Well, exactly. See, that's the issue. You'd always run into that.
Yeah.
But
Finn! He had a lightsaber.
That would be a good option.
Rey kills Kylo, and Finn has to stop Rey.
I like that idea.
Finn and Poe. And you could have a new character done well. That's a female character.
Like the character that was in the expanded universe. I forgot what her name was, but she was a great character.
What was she? Like evil, good?
She was a Jedi, I think.
Good Jedi?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
but no.
If you want to talk about ballsy, there you go. That's ballsy.
I actually like that idea because give Finn more to do than say absolutely
Be a fucking goof.
embarrassing lines of dialogue.
Be a walking comedy sketch. Ready for Eddie Murphy.
And speaking of Eddie Murphy, I definitely anybody who's familiar with that skit that he did, where he's all like, "Kill my landlord." This is how I feel about Star Wars right now. Kill Star Wars. K-I-L-L Star Wars. Kill Star Wars.
Is that when he was having poems in prison?
Yeah.
Yeah. SNL. Yeah, I remember that. So, okay.
What are your other questions?
One last question. Why, any theories, guesses on why they decided to go in this direction with these characters?
I agree with your point that Disney just wants to dump some weight. They want to dump what they feel is dead weight to this franchise.
Because they felt like Harrison Ford is hard to deal with.
Yeah.
Luke Skywalker, yeah, which I don't
He's
get.
old.
He's old. But Leia, I mean, apparently she was going to be a big thing in the next movie. So I guess it's because, well, she's female, so that's okay. And I'm sorry, people can get mad at that, but that's what a lot of these businesses think of.
Well, Kathleen Kennedy is really spearheading that kind of stuff. Like, she's the one that's all, like, praising the fact that they've hired, like, 4 different female directors for the studio and all this other shit. So
it shouldn't matter if it's woman or man. Is it a good director no matter what? That's equality.
Exactly. Catherine Bigelow. She's a good director.
The Hurt Locker I enjoy a lot.
Near Dark, things like that. She's a great director. I'd actually been curious to see what her idea of a Star Wars film would be. She'd probably be too strong of a woman, though, behind the camera, wouldn't put up with Kathleen Kennedy's shit, so.
Rachel Talalay did Tank Girl.
Yeah.
Better than this movie.
I definitely agree with that.
People get pissed at that. Fuck it.
I don't care. Tank Girl's a fun movie.
And
Lori Petty's a much better character. Badass. Definitely a better badass.
Yeah, I like Lori Petty's character a lot more than Rey, yeah. But yeah, that's the end, folks. We've gone long enough. Bottom line, folks, if you like the film, that's fine. We were not fans of this.
No.
Most of all, I think they did a real disservice to the characters. They did a travesty. I'm mixing my words.
It was a travesty.
It was a travesty, and what they did with Luke Skywalker's character, they made him a coward loser who ran away, had no adventures after Return of the Jedi, and became a waste of space on a mountain, and died.
Might as well be the Matterhorn.
Faded away to the fucking wind. And it doesn't. Force Awakens, this movie, they're doing a disservice to these movies more than the prequels ever did.
These Disney films, at least especially with this one, in my opinion, they've pretty much opened up the Lamentation configuration box, unleashed Pinhead and the fucking Cenobites, and tore this franchise's soul apart.
Yeah. They took these movies, I'm holding my hand, the original movies, and they said, this doesn't matter. Everything they did didn't matter. All this shit here didn't matter. All this shit here didn't matter.
And this film definitely, in my opinion, makes me respect all 3 of the prequels more than I ever did before.
Yeah.
Prequels took chances.
When I first,
that didn't always work.
No bullshit, because there's no.
And they were interesting. They took things into interesting different directions, and that didn't always work either. But it didn't feel like they were as. I keep using the word disrespectful because I can't really think of another word to really personify how I feel about it more than that word. I think it's a perfect word for this film and what it has done for the other film, for the original trilogy and for those characters. Those beloved characters that people grew up with, that people loved, that people adored. The reason why people liked Star Wars to begin with. The reason why Star Wars is such a big household name and making you all this fucking money, Disney, is because of the adventures and because of the actions of the original trilogy cast and crew. People wouldn't be watching this fucking thing if it wasn't for the original cast or the success of the original Star Wars. The prequels, they had their moments, the midichlorians, yippee! Well, we had fucking annoying kids in this too.
People want to complain about Jar Jar Binks? What the fuck do you think the porgs and the fucking all this other shit in it?
There wasn't as much porgs as Jar Jar. I'll give the film, but that's not saying much at all. It's like, oh, this film wasn't as annoying as Phantom Menace was at times. What do you want, a cookie? You want a fucking medal?
The Phantom Menace has more good
plaque?
stuff than this. At least it has a lightsaber battle worth of shit.
Yeah, I mean, the lightsaber battle at the end is great. The score is legitimately good. Even the pod racing scenes, I didn't mind. The Attack of the Clones, the Jango Fett scene, I thought was decent. There were some decent fights here and there. Dooku is a better villain than anybody in this new series, including Rogue One, unless you count Vader. In that one scene.
That was out of the blue.
Cool scene, but it's out of the blue.
I'm real collided with the prequels. I'll be honest, when I first saw them, I liked them.
Mm-hmm.
And then I kind of got in this thing, and I'm only speaking for myself, where so many other people were saying to hate them, and Red Letter Media did a great job in those movies.
Oh, yeah.
Very funny. And I remember I did reviews after seeing them, and I took them down because you know what, this isn't really me speaking for myself. It's there are problems with those prequels, and I see them, but I feel like I was trying to go into a crowd to hate them. And I'm not saying they're great movies either. I'm not. This particular guy, I love the Matrix trilogy. And those
a lot of people gave that trilogy a lot of shit for the same things that this film is doing.
Yeah, and this one at least is treating. I think it's treating their characters better than this.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And yeah, exactly. Like
Neo actually had a badass final fight.
And when he had the moment to revelation of what to do, it made more sense to me than this bullshit. And he didn't fade away, but he died, but went on to Ghost. But that's a much better trilogy than this.
I agree. And you had the third in episode 3. I never hated episode 3. I thought that one was okay. Had issues with it as well, like the other ones, but
you know what? It kind of
it's better than this.
Other people on the outside were kind of pushing me, and that's my own fault. I don't blame anyone. That's my own fault. I'll say right now, there's problems with those prequels. From here on in, I don't hate the prequels. I don't hate the prequels. I don't love them, but I don't hate them. I would gladly watch the prequels. I need to watch them again. I would gladly
before I could really say anything like that.
That's fine. I'm just talking about myself because
yeah,
I would gladly watch this movie and others over this.
Well, I definitely would. I mean, if I had to choose between episodes 1 through 3 over or Star Wars, The Last Pink Eye, I'm definitely going to choose episodes 1 through 3
because it did not ruin these original movies.
No,
it has stuff that I don't agree with. And, George Lucas, I still have a bug up my ass because the original
lame
versions,
things like, no, Padme, no, and another stupid shit.
That's what I mean. I don't love them. But they don't fuck up the originals as much as these.
No.
People have their bug up their ass of midichlorians. I can see why. But Luke Skywalker and Solo is worse.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, so I'm saying, people have a bug up their ass about the midichlorian shit and stuff, and I can understand. I did too. But that's nothing compared to Luke and Han and all this other shit. That is 100 times worse.
I agree, because in the prequels, it's just a lot of stupid shit, but there's some good things sprinkled in there, and there's some bad lines of dialogue. I hate sand, it's rough, it's cold, it gets everywhere. There's some bad lines of dialogue and acting.
Hayden Christensen still sucks.
But
Ewan McGregor was good.
Yeah.
Ewan McGregor is better than this.
There's more positives that I can think of off the top of my head over the prequels.
Obi-Wan Kenobi's a badass.
Yeah.
Why couldn't Luke Skywalker have that shit in these movies? All the stuff Obi-Wan Kenobi was doing, kicking Darth Maul's ass, kicking the guy with all the fucking arms, robot guy.
Mm-hmm.
Why couldn't Luke have that stuff in these movies? Because, and that's the way it is. So, I'll end it now. Thank you, Mike, for joining me on this.
Yeah.
It's an epic
Thanks.
rant. I don't know which I hate more, this or Alien Covenant. I
Yeah,
really
it's
don't.
difficult. Both do the same fucking bullshit of not answering questions the previous films did. But I would probably give this a nod because I didn't like Prometheus at all.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I thought that Force Awakens was decent. There were some action sequences in that I thought were much better than anything in this. The new characters were handled or written better than they were in this one. And, you know, the old characters, like Han, you know, they killed him, but at least he had more to do. At least he did more in the last film than Luke ever did in this.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things where, yeah, I would, this might be the worst. I might put this at number one because it is the most aggravating and infuriating film I think I've seen this year. I felt like I was literally being insulted. I felt like this film was literally just telling me to fuck off to my face.
Yeah.
And I don't appreciate that. I don't like that at all. I never felt that way about the prequels. As dumb and as stupid and as bad as they could be.
Yeah.
I definitely felt that way about this. Because the prequels, it's not like after the prequels, Luke doesn't do all this awesome shit and all these other characters don't do all these great things in the films that come afterwards.
Right. And you could take it so many different directions, and this is what they did.
And that's what makes it also extremely frustrating and disappointing. I had no hope for Covenant at all. Like, I had hope that maybe they'd build on The Force Awakens and improve upon it.
Mm-hmm.
And they went backwards into fucking light speed. They went so far backwards they went plaid.
It's bad when I mean, I like Spaceballs, but if that was just called Episode 7 or 8, it'd be a better Star Wars movie than this. But we'll end it now. This might be number one. I gotta think about it some more. But what Mike said is very true, because even being a guy that didn't grow up with Star Wars, I liked what they did in these original movies, and just the insultingly idiotic, unbelievably, almost hypnotically stupefying.
It was surreal. It really was surreal.
Direction they took. And still a lot of people like it, yet they like the original films. I don't understand that. That's very peculiar to me. And I'm not saying that in a derogatory fuck you mode. I'm saying in a I just perplexed, confused mode. This is not for me and not for Mike. And it seems like for some people, quite a few people online, not for them either. Yeah. So thank you for watching. Thank you, Mike, for taking this long time. But you know what? If it's the worst movie of the year, it deserves the longest. Over Justice League.
Thank you for having me. As always.
Thanks for watching. Take care. And we will see you down the road.
See ya.